If you don't think I'm above bribery, know that I had zero plans to buy more digital 3DS games. But then one of my Pokemon videos did really well, so here we are. See, all it takes is a little money and I'll dance like a monkey at the zoo who was born into this life and doesn't know everybody's laughing at him and not with him. At first though, I was hesitant to buy Pokemon Battle Trozei. Pokemon Shuffle already exists for free, so why would I want to spend money on a different Pokemon Match 3 game? Well, let me tell ya, this is definitely a Pokemon Match 3 game. As you can see from the gameplay, Battle Glizzy allows you to pick up a Pokemon from anywhere, and then move them anywhere else to create a match of 3 or more. Nothing terribly unique there. But if you manage to create a Trozei chance, it becomes a mad scramble, and now any 2 matches will be counted, ramping up the damage you deal to the Pokemon on the top screen. That damage is super important because the Pokemon is also attacking you. Take too long and it's game over. While Battle Trudy may be on the easier side, you can't take your time and plot out the best move. Sometimes you just have to rub one out as fast as possible and hope you reach completion. While the difficulty is absurdly easy at first, things do slowly begin to ramp up. Beginning in Zone 2, it's possible for the attacking Pokemon to munch through your box and get up all in your business, obstructing the play space and limiting your options. But realistically, this is just a basic Match 3. Sure, there's Pokemon faces instead of pieces of candy, I just don't think Genius Sonority did enough to take it to that next level. Because it's a Pokemon game, type advantages play an important part. The first Pokemon you match decides who you attack with, so using a Charmander against a Bulbasaur makes a lot more sense than a Squirtle. And the more damage you do, the better your rank, allowing you to catch new Pokemon and open more areas. But a good strategy isn't mandatory. I battled against Metal-type Pokemon and still won, despite only using Bug types and Psychic types. The boss Registeel at the end even penetrated my box, yet I never saw game over. To improve your chances of hitting for weakness, you can choose some of the Pokemon that appear in battle for you, giving you a foot up on the enemy. But you can only see circular silhouettes of the enemies ahead of time, so it's mostly just a guessing game. Like, seriously, who the hell am I facing in this level? Imagine if the challenger approaching screen in Smash Bros. Wasn't a silhouette of the actual challenger, but just a silhouette of their face in a circle, and everyone's circle faces were the exact same size. It's somehow less helpful than that. Another annoyance is that Pokemon here are only single type. So if you see someone like Kevin Durant, you might assume it's a Steel type when in actuality it's a Bug type. Don't get me wrong, Battle Troy from Community can be an enjoyable game at times, but that has more to do with the fact that it's a fast-paced Match 3 and less to do with the fact that it's an $11 game based on the most successful franchise of all time. It's just not very Pokemon-y. You could literally swap out the icons with anything and trick me into believing it's any other Match 3 on the market. The music is original but forgettable, except for the randomly awesome track in the final zone. The Pokemon don't make any sort of familiar noises you're used to, and the environments are more uninspired than the last Jurassic World movie. It's like that time when I accidentally did things with my ex-wife's twin sister. It may seem different at first, but if you dig a little deeper, it's all the same. Wait, that analogy might be backwards. Never mind. What I'm trying to say is, it was an honest mistake, okay? And she's lying when she said I knew it was her all along. She tricked me. Just like the Pokemon Company did when they made me believe they created an original Match 3 game. See, I knew I could circle it back eventually. Unlike an Eevee falling into a truck full of evolution stones, the gameplay in Battle Trozei never evolves. In the first level, you match 4 icons, then quickly match 3 icons, then a Trozei chance begins. Then the game essentially plays itself for 10 seconds, and then you repeat the process over and over for several hours. There are times when the attacking Pokemon can shuffle your icons, but it doesn't really impact the overall gameplay other than being really annoying. Aside from that, the strategy on level 1 is the same on level 40, except now you do the same thing just slightly faster. It honestly got to a point where I stopped caring. The gameplay loop had become stale, and I had no interest in getting lassoed like Ted. Obviously, I ended up finishing Battle Taizon Day, and there's even a surprisingly good amount of post-game content, but it doesn't change the fact that I regret my purchase. The only question left to ask is, do you think Hisui and Electrode ever shove stuff up its bottom hole? Also, is Battle Trozei worth buying when Pokemon Shuffle, a free game, exists? Well, the short answer is no. This is 11 times more expensive than Shuffle, and it isn't 11 times the game. Then again, 11 times 0 is 0, so does that mean anything? Probably not. Irregardless, Battle Drowsy is an okay paid game that exists in a world where good match 3 titles are free. To back up my hypoallergenic, I went back and replayed Pokémon Shuffle. For starters, the icons on the 3DS home screen are pretty much the exact same for both games. Second, the graphics, play area, and I think even sound effects are shared, which shouldn't be too surprising given that it's the same developer and the games released within a year of each other. However, the gameplay does differ slightly, though at their core they're both match 3s. As Shuffle is a free-to-play title, they do want you to spend coins on items and such, but as long as you do your daily check-ins and spend your currency wisely, you can play Shuffle for a very long time without spending any actual money. Perhaps the main difference between the two is the speed of gameplay. Shuffle is far more laid back. Instead of Pokemon constantly attacking you if you take too long, it's more about maximizing each move. And there's no Trozei chance thingy, though there is Mega Evolution. Another bonus is when you take someone's sock off and they have a 6th toe. Also, you can download Shuffle on your phone, so even if you missed out on the 3DS version, there's still a way to play it. Ultimately, Shuffle is a laid-back, free Pokemon Match 3 game that should scratch that itch, provided you went to the doctor first and learned it's not transmittable. Battle Spritzy is a faster-paced Pokemon Match 3 game, though I found Shuffle had more overall variety in its gameplay. In fact, I think I preferred Shuffle's clock counting down more than Trogdor's Pokemon attacking. If I had to pick one, I think I prefer Shuffle over Trozei, or Linked Battle as it's known in some regions. When I spend money on a game, I feel I have an obligation to like it. Battle T-Rex became stale far too quickly, like the relationship with my ex-wife. But Shuffle was free and fun, and I could have a good time until I got bored of it, like that girl I met while my ex-wife and I were on a break. So if I had to recommend one, it would be Shuffle. You can't beat free. If I had to give Battle Mizzy a rating out of 10, it'd probably be equal to the number of toes my ex-wife has on her left foot.